Hi guys, how are you all doing? So today what we are going to learn will be some calculus, and um, it will be about proportionality. What we are going to learn today is going to be about proportionality. I'll explain what is proportionality, the formulas, and how it is calculated. Then we are going to learn some trigonometry, some trigonometry, and the related formulas, examples, and then we are going to learn about what are degrees, degrees. These are units of measurement for the angles, and then I'll tell which one is better, and among these two. And then we are also going to learn about the conversion. So what is the how to convert the angles which is in radians to degrees, and how the angles which is in degrees, and how to convert it into radians. So we are also going to learn about conversion. So I hope we will be able to cover all these topics in one video. So let's start with proportionality. What is proportionality? Alright, first uh, let's discuss what is proportion. Like, what is proportion or proportionality? So what proportion is, for example, if proportionality or proportion is just two variables, for example y and x, so y equals will be equal to some constant multiple of x. This is constant, multiple, constant multiple of y equals constant multiple of x. For example, if I say y equals x, that means it's equal. But what proportionality means, it is proportional to x. It is proportional to x, somehow related to x in some way. Now let's discuss what are the types of proportionalities. For example, if I say that, for example, if y increases, x also increases. So I say that y is directly proportional to x. But what if y increases and x decreases? That's opposite. So for that we use y is inversely proportional to x. Y is equal to the inverse of x. Uh, so y is inversely proportional to x. So this is directly proportional. Y equals constant multiple of x is directly proportional. This is directly proportional. And when we say that in inversely proportional, so we say that y equals 1 by k into x, or y equals x to 1 by k. So that means that y is inversely proportional to x, and this means that y is directly proportional to x. So this basically means is when y increases, x also increases. But in this case, you have when y increases, x decreases. Now I think you can also write it by uh, like this: y equals y equals k 1 by x. It's not like this. Y equals k 1 by x. So here it's a constant multiple. Y in inverse proportionality, we have y equals constant multiple of inverse of x. So that will mean that we have y is inversely proportional to x. So that was proportionality. And you can have this k, it's a constant multiple, so you can have any value for this k. For example, if you have y and x given and they are proportional in some way, in the question they will be written that they are proportional, either directly proportional or indirectly proportional. So with that information, if they are proportional, you can find the value of k. and if k or either one of the variable is given, you can find the value of the other variable. So this was all about proportionality. Now let's discuss trigonometry. So now let's discuss what is trigonometry. So what trigonometry is, it's, you know what this basically means, you know, trig, you know, here trig we say triangle. So it's basically the study of the sides of the triangle. So it's basically a study of triangles. The sides of the triangle is called trigonometry. We have different trigonometric functions. We have for example, let me draw a right angle triangle, because here we are going to study about triangles. So let me draw a triangle. Here here we have this angle, because it's a right angle triangle. I have a 90-degree angle here, it's perpendicular. Here I have theta here. So this is our hypotenuse, this is our hypotenuse, this is our base, it's our base, and this is our perpendicular. So this is our right angle triangle. And the different functions of trigonometry are sine, cosine, and tangent. And we have uh, also I'm going to discuss the cosecant, cotangent, and secant in the next video. So for today we are going to learn about these three functions. So what sine is equal to, what is the formula of sine? The formula of sine is perpendicular by hypotenuse. So we have perpendicular by hypotenuse equals sine. What's cosine? Cosine is equal to base by hypotenuse, and we have for tangent we have base by perpendicular. So these are the formulas for our sine, cosine, and tangent. So we are going to study later where does these formulas come from, and what's the origin and all this stuff. But for today, what I'm focusing on is the functions you guys need to remember, that is sine, cos, and tan. There are three functions which are based on the sides of the triangle. So it's up to you whether you want to take this angle or this angle. You are going to have the same outputs, or you're going to have the same formulas to calculate. Also the Pythagoras theorem, where it says h square equals b square plus p square. This is a Pythagoras theorem. We're also going to study that in later videos, but for now we are going to study this. So I was talking about trigonometry. So these are trigonometric functions. These are trigonometric functions, and these are their formulas, or you know how you can calculate it using these formulas. I'm not going to go that deep into trigonometry. Let's discuss the radians and degrees. So let me discuss what are radians. So what are radians and what are degrees? So you know, for measuring the angle, for measuring the angle of for measuring the angle, we have a unit called degrees nowadays. So we have, for example, in a circle, we say that there are 360 degrees in a circle. We have 360 degrees in a circle. But why do we use this 360 degrees as a standard? Why do we have 360 degrees in one revolution or in a circle? That is because in an Asian calendar, before, we had 360 days. Per year. So related to that, that is why we use 360 as a standard for degrees of a circle. So this is the measure of the angle of the circle. So that means it is 360 degrees. This circle is 360 degrees. That's the unit of measurement. But we also have radians. So for example, if I draw if I draw a circle, if I draw a circle, here we have the center of the circle. Here we have here this is the radius. This is the radius, and here I draw an arc, or an angle theta, or an angle theta. So this is r. So for example, let's say that this angle theta is the exact measurement for which the arc suspended by this angle is 1 radius, is equal to the radius of the circle. So I was saying that let's say, for instance, this arc is the exact measurement for which the arc subtended by it is equal to 1 radius, or you can also call it 1 radian. Instead of 1 radian, you can all call it 1 radian. So this is theta. You can say theta equals 1 radian. So this radian is also a unit of measurement for the angle, and degrees is also a unit of measurement for the angle. But later on in our book, we are going to study the unit of measurement of the angles will be as radians. So let's say that we have a circle here, and we have the center of the circle, we have the radius, and we have an angle here. We have an angle here that is 360 degree angle. So the arc suspended by this angle is actually all the circumference of the circle, and that is always equal to 2 pi r, as we know. So we can say, because 1 radian was equal to 1 radius, so we can say that 2 pi r equals 2 pi radians. Because radian was equal to radius, we can say 2 pi r equals 2 pi radians. Alright, so we can say that, and also 2 pi, when 2 pi r equals 360 degrees, we can say that 2 pi radians is also equal to 360 degrees. So if you guys can remember this formula, you can pretty much convert any degrees or radians into respective radians and degrees. So let me solve this and give you guys some examples. So let's say we have let me just solve this formula. So I'll write, if I want to convert this radians into for 180 degrees, for half of it, so I'll have to divide it by 2, and when I do, I'll divide it by 2, it will give me 180, and if I'll divide this by 2, I'll get pi radians. So pi radians equals 180 degrees. So 360 degrees was equal to 2 pi radians, and pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. If I want to convert it into 90, I'll have to divide it again by 2, it will give me 90. So that is equal to 90 degrees equals pi by 2 radians. For example, if you say, for example, let me give you guys an example for the conversion. Let's say somebody says that I have an angle of 35 degrees, and I want to convert it into radians. So which formula to use? Alright, so let's use this one. So we have 90 degrees equals pi by 2 radians. Here we want 35 degrees. So what we have to do, we here multiply by 35 by 90, and here we do the same, 35 by 90. So that will actually give us 35 degrees. 35 degrees equals pi by 2 radians. Pi by 2 radians into 35 35 by 90, or you can say that 35 degrees equals 35 by 90 into pi by 2 radians. So you guys can easily calculate it and convert it into radians. Same is with the radians. So if you guys have the radians, for example, if I say that I have I have pi by 3 radians, and I want to convert it into degrees. So what you have to do is, or you can say you have pi by 2 radians. So here you have, for example, here you have the formula pi by 2 radians equals, or you can say pi radians. You have the formula, you have pi radians equals 180 degrees. So here you have pi by 2, so you divide by 2, and you get 90 degrees, which is this one. So you get pi by 2 radians equals 90 degrees. So this was the conversion. So that you guys can convert between radians and degrees. Basically, these both are the units for the measurement of the angles, but for the rest of the book we are going to stick with these radians. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Today is Sunday, so the video isn't that long. I just wanted to discuss these topics, and from tomorrow we are going to discuss, going to go deep into some programming and calculus as well. It's pretty much it, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's lecture. I'll see you guys next time.